I'm Elisabeth Larkam with Balanced Body Pilates, and this is one of my favorite moves for getting my rib cage on top of my pelvis. In this lateral inchworm move, the purpose is to align the thoracolumbar junction with the sacrum. For most people, when they walk, the thorax is either to the left or to the right of the pelvis, and your walking will be much more efficient when you are lined up. Here's how this works. You place your sacrum on one carriage and then the rib cage, the thorax, on the other. The pelvis stays steady, and on the inhale, move the ribs to one side, and on the exhale, move the pelvis in alignment with the ribs. Ribs, pelvis, ribs, pelvis. And then, of course, you can go the other way. I made this up for my clients that have injuries of either the spine or of the lower extremity. And when they finish this exercise, they're able to walk much more symmetrically. Here are the rest of the variations. First, you keep the soles of both feet firmly anchored. Going to one side, if that's the side to which the client is injured. And then crossing the one leg over the other, so the leg that follows in the direction that you're going. Ribs, pelvis, ribs, pelvis. And the third variation is to cross the leading leg over, one thigh crossed completely over the other. And the very last variation of this is to have both thighs into the torso, so you anchor the sacrum down on the carriage. Now here are the bony landmarks of interest to use when you do this exercise. Put your thumbs together at your navel and the pads of your middle fingers at the corner of your pubic bone. Aim your pubic bone down in the carriage to create a neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Aim both sides of the ASIS equally towards the ceiling. And the sitting bones, the ischium, go towards the pelvis. So when you make a translation, it is really a lateral translation. I have to stabilize the carriage here. And then when you shift towards the side, draw your sitting bone towards your heels. Common errors are to do a hip hike, which would indicate that the quadratus lumborum is tight on this side or unable to lengthen eccentrically. And another common error is to rotate or turn in the direction of which you're going. Don't do that. Aim both sides of the pelvis equally down on the carriage. Now, let's just say that you don't have two reformers readily available to devote to this. No problem. Just reach for a foam roller and put the roller next to the carriage. Sacrum on the carriage and heels on the carriage. You can keep the roller steady and move your pelvis from side to side. Same bony landmarks applicable here. To get the reverse of that, just spin around, put your sacrum on the roller, your ribs and head on the carriage, and that way you can stabilize with your feet and do the lateral translation of your ribs. Now the breathing pattern would be to inhale to the side to which you were going, exhale to the center, and inhale to the side. It's also very important to keep the back of your ribs, the back of your lungs settled down on the carriage, since a common error would be to move into thoracic extension using more of the spine extensors than the oblique slings. I've used this for so many of my clients, people with lower extremity injuries, people with spine injuries, and they find that after they practice this, they're able to organize much more symmetrically in their walk. Do let us know your comments.